The next part I'm going to do is I'm going to create the navigation buttons here, here, and here. What I want to happen is I want to have a rollover navigation, so when I roll over nav button 1, it will have a sort of a rollover effect. So this is our page so far. It's not looking too bad. What we can do now is we can come back to Fireworks and we can close this and we can save the changes to banner.png. The next thing that I want to do is I want to go back to my index page and I want to get the size of this. This is 100 by 80. So in Fireworks I'll go File, New, the width 100, the height 280. And this is at 100% at the moment the size of that box. So what we can do is we can put in our navigation as such in here. So if I put in, oops, if I press shift and draw a circle, it'll keep the circle constrained perfectly. Now I might want to put some sort of effect on this, like a radial fill. There's an ambulance going by in the background, I don't know if you can actually hear it or not. And a radial fill will give the effect of a more 3D effect. I just undid that because I want to show you this here again. So if I go radial, and now when I click on it I get what's called the fill tool up here, and you can move the fill tool about by just selecting it, and what it'll do is it'll move the location of the sheen as such. Now we have a drop shadow in already, which means the light must be coming from this side, so I'm going to put the light this side and the fall off to this side. So this will give it a bit more of an effect, as if it's the light is coming from over here and the dark side is over here. Okay, and what we could do is we could adjust, say, the color of the fill. If we go in here, we can adjust, say, instead of it going from black to white, we could have it going from a black to or a white to a green or a blue, maybe something like that. Maybe that might be more in keeping with your button. And if you wanted to create a sort of a shuttle kind of dial type button for some reason, I'm just going to zoom in here and show you this. What you could do is that you could select this circle, okay, you could press Alt and you could drag it out like so. Okay, so you've got 2, and then what I would do is I would scale it down like so, and I'm pressing shift now when I scale to get a perfect rotation on the shift. And what I'll do now is I'll move this over here, okay, and what I'll do now is I will go modify, transform, and I will go rotate 180. So now we have like a button kind of with a, if you can imagine putting your finger in here, if this is in real life, you could put your finger in here and swirl it around. That's how you would create a sort of a 3D looking sort of button like that, like something on a radio dial for doing the tune or something like that. But we're not going to be using something like that here, but that's basically, you can use that. What I want to do is I want to create the initial button like so. So this is going to be, when you want to create a rollover button, you need 2 states. You need the up state and you need the over state. Okay, and the great thing about layers, what you can do is, or else you can use frames in this case as well. And this frame here could be your up state, and then you can drag this frame down here. We're not using an animated GIF. And what we can do is we have 2 frames, so we can call this frame up, and we can call this frame over. Okay, so up and over. And what we can do now is we can adjust over to look like something that would happen when the mouse comes in over it. So let's just zoom back in again. And it could be, believe it or not, as simple as just moving the, you know, the shadows. So if you imagine if you can up and over, so you've up and over, as in it'll create some sort of effect. But I'm actually going to add an effect as well. So I'm just going to go to shadow, and I'm just going to go to inner shadow again, and I'm going to select the direction of the inner shadow to be this way. Okay, so up, just click off it. Up is like this and over is like this, so we get a different sort of effect happening. Okay, so I'm going to do now is on the optimize, I'm just going to come out a bit, and I'm going to go 2 and up straight away, and I'm going to see that at the moment it's 1.54, which is quite small as a GIF, so I'm happy with that. I could knock even the color down here a bit more,